Hello everyone friends! The term muscle car emerged in the collector community sometime after the production of this class of vehicles began. The peak of production for mid-size cars with powerful V8 engines occurred in the mid-1960s. It's safe to say that few cars can surpass muscle cars in terms of the combination of beauty and power. Today we'll take a look at 10 legendary muscle cars. Let's go! Ford Mustang. This legendary Mustang, modified by American racer and designer Carroll Shelby, became the dream of every true muscle car enthusiast. The Shelby GT 350 models, produced in 1965 and 1966, were not only powerful but also elegant, lightweight, and perfect for traveling. However, a few years later, Shelby's philosophy changed. His cars began actively participating and winning in sprint races. Under the hood of the 1967 and 1968 Shelby GT 500 models was a 355 horsepower engine with a displacement of 428 cubic inches. The longer body and more aggressive exterior distinguished the Ford Mustang Shelby GT 500 from the 1965 GT 350 model. Chevrolet Corvette. The third generation of the iconic Corvette sports cars had a long run from 1968 all the way through 1982. Thus, the launch of the fourth generation Corvette sparked immense excitement and a whirlwind of rumors. Some claimed the new car would feature a rotary engine like the Mazda, while others predicted a mid-engine layout like Italian exotic cars. In the end, although the new model wasn't as revolutionary as anticipated, the first Corvette of this generation was still equipped with a powerful V8 engine. Dodge Charger Daytona 1969 is arguably one of the most radical muscle cars ever made. However, the Daytona wasn't designed for street racing. Its purpose was far grander: to dominate NASCAR races on high-speed oval tracks. To boost speed, the creators of the Daytona focused on improving its aerodynamics, incorporating innovations inspired by the Dodge Charger 500. As a result, the car featured an 18-inch nose cone and an enormous 23-inch rear wing, providing additional stability and downforce. The outcome was impressive. The Daytona became the first car in NASCAR history to break the 200 miles per hour, 320 kilometers per h barrier. After a series of victories, changes to the NASCAR rules eventually forced Daytona out of competition. Even today, models equipped with the legendary 440 or 426 Hemi engines remain highly sought after by collectors, who are willing to pay up to $150,000 at auctions. Oldsmobile. This muscle car from the famous American brand Oldsmobile got its name from a combination of key features: a 4-barrel carburetor, a 4-speed manual transmission, and a dual exhaust system. Built on the platform of the Oldsmobile Cutlass, the 442 quickly gained popularity in the muscle car family due to its power and aggressive design. Interestingly, this platform was also used in other iconic models like the Chevrolet Chevelle SS and Pontiac GTO. Initially, the Oldsmobile 442 was distinguished only by its trim level, but in 1970 it offered something more: a powerful 455 cubic inch V8 engine for those who craved maximum speed. The W30 equipped version boasted an impressive 360 horsepower, allowing the car to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per h in just 6 seconds, which was an incredible achievement for its time. Pontiac Firebird. For muscle cars, the 1970s were not as bright as the previous decades. Rising fuel and insurance prices forced automakers to reduce the power of their cars. Pontiac, however, managed to stand out from the crowd. Their Trans Am became a bona fide star after the 1977 movie Cop and the Bandit. In 1978, the power of the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am was increased from 200 horsepower to 220 horsepower. A special WN6 package added wider 8-inch wheels, new tires, and improved steering to the car. As a result, the Trans Am surpassed even the Chevrolet Corvette in maneuverability and track speed. Ford Mustang. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, many automakers emphasized racing competition. In order to participate in NASCAR, it was required to produce production versions of race cars with a circulation of at least 500 copies. One such monster was the Ford Mustang Boss 429. Its 429 cubic inch V8 engine produced 375 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute. The engine was so large that it had to be literally squeezed into the body. To do this, Ford turned to Carcraft, who reworked many parts to make enough room under the hood. Today, this car sells at auctions for more than $200,000. Chevrolet Chevelle, when General Motors lifted the ban on engines larger than 400 cubic inches in mid-size cars, a real revolution in the world of muscle cars began. The LS6 became a true legend, with some estimates as high as 500 horsepower thanks to its high compression and huge Holley 780 CFM carburetor. In 1970, Car and Driver magazine tested this model, noting acceleration to 100 kilometers per h in just 5.4 seconds. Imagine how much faster this car would be today on modern tires. Pontiac GTO in the early 1960s, Pontiac led the way in performance cars, and the GTO is often referred to as the first muscle car. By 1968, however, it had many competitors, prompting the creation of a more affordable version of the GTO with a 350cc engine. Chief engineer John DeLorean was against the idea, believing that the GTO should remain a powerful car. In the end, the new model received a Ram Air 3 V8 engine with 360 horsepower, and buyers could also choose a Ram Air 4 version with 370 horsepower. The GTO Judge Ram Air 4 convertible GTO Judge Ram Air 4 was the rarest of all. Only 5 examples were produced in 1969. Chevrolet Camaro, the Copo Central Office Production Order System, was designed to produce cars in special configurations such as police cars or cabs, but enterprising dealers found a way to order powerful cars under this system. The Camaro ZL1 with a 7-liter, 8-cylinder, 425 horsepower engine was one of these unique cars produced under Copo production order. 1987 Buick GNX. In the 1980s, it seemed that the era of oil cars was a thing of the past, but Buick made a real sensation with the GNX. This V6 turbocharged car developed 276 horsepower and accelerated to 100 kilometers per h in just 4.6 seconds. The GNX instantly became one of the fastest cars of its time. Only 547 examples were produced, and today it is one of the most coveted models for collectors. Thanks for watching, friends. Subscribe to the channel and like it. There are more interesting episodes to come.